Psychology is a course that you will really, really enjoy. If you love it, you love working with people, you enjoy working with people, you are interested in human behavior, why people behave the way they do, you are interested in mental processes that leads to certain behavior, I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy it. Don't think about the years. What I can tell you, I've been a psychologist for many years now. You'll never regret it. You look back and thank God that you have done it, because you will enjoy your work, you will have a lot of job opportunities, you will never regret having sacrificed to become a psychologist. I'm telling you, this is something that you need to do for yourself. Hi friends, welcome and thank you for joining me. This is Dr. T, and I want to talk to you today about a question that I've received a lot, and obviously these are people who are interested in psychology. They want to find out, how long does it take to become a psychologist, or what does it take for one to become a psychologist? And I want to answer this question, but before I do that, if you have not yet subscribed, that you subscribe to the channel. So you can do that simply by just clicking on the subscribe button. There's a red subscribe button at the bottom of this video. Make sure that you give a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you have got any question, make sure that you put it on the comment section. And if you have got any comment or whatever that you want to share on how these videos are assisting you, please put it on the comment section as well. If there's anything that you'd like us to tackle and look at, also add that on the comment section. Your feedback on the comment section is what helps me to know what kind of video that we need to do for this channel and what areas of need do you want us to tackle. But also, I encourage you that share this video with as many people as possible, so that people are informed about the field of psychology. Those who want to study psychology, they can know about psychology and know what field or what process they need to follow in order to study psychology. So make sure that you share this video with as many people as possible. So let me get into the topic of today. The question is, what does it take to become a psychologist? Or how long does it take to become a psychologist? I think this question is easily answered by understanding the articulation process, or psychology articulation process. And I think I've spoken about this particular topic for a long time regarding articulation. Now, articulation, it basically speaks about career mobility. Can I be able to move from higher certificate or diploma to a degree, honors, and masters? That's basically what it speaks about. But it also speaks about, can I be able to move from within my own institute? For example, if I'm at UNISA, I do Masters in Psychology of Education. Can I be able to use that Masters of Psychology of Education and apply for educational psychology in another institute? Or if I'm at a technical university, can I be able to get a higher certificate and move within the institute until I get a PhD? So the issue of articulation is one topic that is the topic of discussion in higher education, particularly on how you articulate from TVET to higher education and until you get your qualification and employed. So the whole aim of articulation, or the policies regarding articulation, are so that we avoid a dead end of a career. A career should be able to lead you to a qualification and ultimately to an employment. So articulation address those particular issues so that there are no gaps in the process of you getting your qualification. Now, let's deal with the issue of articulation. So when I speak about articulation, so it's very difficult to speak about the duration of psychology, because there are different articulation paths or processes that one can follow in order to become a psychologist. For example, one can basically follow the B-Psych route, which is the most common and standard way in order to become a psychologist. The good thing with the B-Psych It's a 4-year program that allows you to register as either a psychometrist or a counselor with HPCSA. You can open your own practice after completing the 720 practicum. The other ways that you can also do your normal psychology degree, whether BA, BSc, majoring in psychology, and then you can then do your honors and ultimately do your masters. The same with the B-Psych, it can also lead to a master's program and specialize in one of the 6 categories of psychology. The other route is that one can actually also do B.Ed, particularly for those specifically for those who want to do educational psychology. So when you have done in B.Ed and honors in psychology, that can ultimately lead you to educational psychology. But obviously you have to make sure that you are majoring in psychology. Other people, they also do BSc and they do PGC, or they do an honors, and after honors they do PGC, and that lead to educational psychology. Mainly because in educational psychology, they seems to want you to have some form of educational background. We don't necessarily do a lot of education related things. I think we do understand the educational background, the school context. Where I was actually, it was UP. They were more biased towards school level or formal schooling. So other institutes I know that are very broad. They include also lessons about higher education. I think if there's anything that I feel every educational psychologist should learn, which I know now, will be curriculum. Understanding curriculum, that will be an A plus for any person who is interested in educational psychology. I think that's an area that I feel maybe we're limited in, but I think it's one of the most crucial aspects that you can know as an educational psychologist. Hi friends, just a quick break. I know you're enjoying this program, but I just want to answer some few questions about people who still want guidance on how to access the book. You know what I usually recommend, that make sure that you get an ebook. An ebook, you can get it on Amazon and follow their process. Just click on the link below this video and then follow their process, and you'll be able to get the book. I like the ebook process with Amazon because it is instant. You buy the book, you get it immediately on your gadget. But if you are in South Africa and you want to get a hard copy posted directly to your home address without leaving your house, all you have to do, there's a link below this video from our printers who were kind enough to help us with distributing the book. All you have to do, click on the link, fill the form, and they will be able to communicate with you on how to get the book. Usually it takes about 72 hours to get the book to you, and many people have been getting their book, so don't be left behind. See the links below this video on how to get the books, whether on Amazon or for it to be posted to your home address. So don't waste any time. Many people are getting the book, so don't remain behind. Make sure you get your copy while there is still time. Don't wait for the last minute, because the book will actually share with you on how to also prepare for the application, what you have to do, tips that are necessary even before the selection process starts. So make sure that you get the book as quick as possible. Let's go back and enjoy the program. So back to the issue of articulation. So I was just basically showing you that. So somebody who wants to do obviously B.Ed, educational psychology, can do a B.Ed and do the honors and be able to apply for masters in educational psychology. But also anybody who has honors can also go to do the practicum, the 8 months or the 6 months, or rather, or the 1 year 8 months program, which also will incorporate some of the modules that are missing in order to be able to register. Because you must understand that with the B-Psych, it has specific modules that you have to do in order to meet the requirement as stipulated by the HPCSA. So you can't just come with any modules and think you are just going to be accredited. So there's a process. You need to make sure that your modules are what are required for a B-Psych qualification. So the 18 months actually helps in that regard, in a sense that it ensures that you are able to add some of the modules that you might not have done at your degree level. So that's in essence how psychology articulation will look like in terms of the different career paths. I think I'm summarizing them, but there could be other paths that can come from this. But ideally, you will fall within this categorization that I've just given. But when one speaks about articulation, some of the key ways that are very crucial to articulation is what we call credit accumulation transfer. That basically speaks about the credit that you gain, and I think UNISA students will understand this well. They like credit issues. So the credit that you gain from a particular course that you do, you can actually transfer those credits to another program. That's basically when I speak about when you articulate, you have a program that you can move into another program and get accredited. That's what credit accumulation transfer means. Then you get a particular qualification, which maybe you have not started with the basic foundations of it. And the other concept that is key to articulation is what we call RPL, recognition of prior learning. And I think majority of you must actually try to use this particular process, particularly if you are lacking certain credits in your field and you have done some form of informal learning, even if it's formal but might not necessarily be related to the program, and you feel like you can get accredited, you can follow the RPL route. So basically, you go to a university, your HOD, admin department, they will understand how it works. And usually there are what we call RPL policies that guides you on what you need to submit in order to be considered. But if you've got credits that can be accredited, I think that's the simplest way to go about it. RPL is the most complex one compared to the credit one. So the CAD is very simple. You can just transfer the credits, show them the module, show them the credits of that particular courses, and let them credit you so that you can be able to do whatever program. The thing about the credit that you need to know is that you can only be accredited up to 50% of that program. So you can't take psychology of education and go to educational psychology and just do internship because you are accredited 100%. Accreditation can only be up to 50%. You still need to do some form of 50% of that particular program for you to be awarded the program by the university. So just be aware of that. There's a cap in terms of credits that you can transfer into a particular program. This also raises another issue that I hear people speak about when they say, can I do psychology part-time? And I usually answer that question to say yes and no. Yes, in a sense that at an undergraduate level and at UNISA, people do psychology, a degree. You do it part-time or distance education rather, so you can be at home, you can be working while you are doing your degree. But no, in a sense that at a master's level, you won't get away with it. Master's level and honors, I think you have some honors that they do them over 2-year period, but at a master's level, it's impossible. You can't, because there are requirements from HPCSA. There are requirements of it to be face-to-face. There's a coursework that you need to do, and this coursework you can't go. There's no way around it. You have to do it according to the requirements of HPCSA, so that you can be able to meet the requirement to register as a psychologist. And also there are practical aspect of it that you need to meet. So the practicum, you cannot do them your own way. They will tell you they want 6 months full-time, 720 hours, or you do it part-time over a year period. But you have to do them face-to-face, be there practically for you to be able to meet those particular requirements. So it will be difficult for you to complete and become a psychologist studying online. It's not possible. It's not possible, not in South Africa. Maybe somewhere else, I don't know, but not in South Africa. It's going to be impossible to do that. Psychology is a professional qualification. So there are requirements from the profession. HPCSA has got requirements that you need to meet in order to qualify as a psychologist. So you cannot go around those particular requirements. You need to make sure that you meet them in order to become a psychologist. So for undergraduate, yes, you can do online like at your UNISA distance education, but watch the video I've done where I spoke about distance education, where I talk about some advantages and disadvantages of distance education. Check that out. So you can do an undergraduate at that level. However, there are challenges that surround distance education that you need to check out. So undergrad, yes, but when it goes to postgraduate, it's going to be very difficult. I remember when I was doing my honors and master's level at educational psychology. Educational psychology, in the past, I think the idea behind it is for people who come from teaching. So ordinarily, people who were teachers will follow educational psychology when they want to advance in their career. But so psychology was all our classes. Our lectures were from, I think, 2:30, if I remember correctly, 2:30 or 4, I can't remember. But they were tailored in such a way that you can teach and go to class. So most of the people in my class, either they were coming from a teaching background, or they were working at a school, or some of them you find they are counselors. They are working at a school during the day. After 2:30, they come to class. So people were able to do it in that way. Other people, they did it over 2 years for honors part-time so that they can be able to manage the workload. But when it comes to masters, it becomes a bit difficult, but we're also attending in the same way. After 2 o'clock, I think maybe that could be the reason why then, I think our masters was about, I think it was about 2 years. Ideally masters should be, coursework should be 1 year, it should be done. Next year, you should actually be able, the following year, you should be able to start with your research and internship. So sometimes having this part-time in between, and part-time, I don't mean you don't go to class. I mean, you might not attend as often as people are doing full-time. You might have some form of contact session that you have in between, but you are still going to be in class. So that also delay the process of you qualifying as a psychologist. Remember also there's a time frame that they give you to qualify as a psychologist, to finish with your board exam, to finish with your internship, to finish with your research. So you can't just do it without ending. So you need to make sure that you sacrifice some time and focus. Masters, within 1 year, 6 months, you are done with all the academic requirements regarding the coursework. Then the rest of the things you do them, it's like a job. I mean, you are doing your internship. Internship, it's like you are working full time, 40 hours a week. So you just sacrifice that 1 year in order to get the masters. So that's all you have to sacrifice, just to make sure that you complete your masters. So in simple terms, psychology now, if I were to break it down, to simplify it for you, to show you how long it takes to become a psychologist, I think this slide will summarize it in order for you to understand it better. So that's the duration in simple terms. That's actually what it takes to become a psychologist. So what it will take you will need either an undergraduate degree, 3-year degree, or you do a B-Psych qualification, which is an NQF8, is equivalent to an honors that comes out with a 6 months practicum or 12 months part-time. So, or after a degree, you do a psychology honors. So both of these two are equivalent. So, but this one, obviously, an academic one, will not allow you to register as a counselor. So you will need to do the equivalent B-Psych if you want to register as a counselor or a psychometrist. And when you finish at NQF level 8, you go to a master's program. Obviously, there's a selection process that you go through in order to be selected. So you do the master's program. After the master's, you need to do 1 year internship. And during this period as well, you should also be able to complete a research project in line with your professional qualification. And after the internship, you need to write the board exam. Board exam is just one exam sitting that you complete that asks you about certain aspect about psychology, and you need to write that, pass it. I think the pass mark, I can't remember, I think that's 70%, if not 75, to pass. So I know when I speak this, some people say, oh, we couldn't get 65 for honors, how will we get 70 for board exam? Listen, when you are there, it's not as difficult as it sounds. Remember, by that time you have been in an internship for the whole year. You have been working as a psychology intern. So whatever they ask you is part of your work as a psychologist. So don't take it with the mentality of you struggling to get 65 at honors or at master's level. They're asking you about what you do, the profession. And I will say, if you are really serious about psychology, while you are still at undergraduate level, learn about psychology. Be immersed in it. When you get to honors, learn about psychology. I've showed in some videos, I did a lot of videos on psychology. HPCSA website, go there, learn about psychology, check about it. On the website, read about psychology, be interested in psychology, engage with people like us who like psychology. The more you engage in psychology, the more it becomes easy for you when you get into the higher you go in psychology. So the board exam, it is challenging, but it's not impossible to pass. Watch, there's a video that I've done where I speak about why you should follow a career in psychology. Watch that video where I speak about career in psychology. I explain about the board exam, the pass rate in psychology, how many people pass a year, careers in psychology. It's a very informative video. Check that video that speaks about career in psychology. It's a very, very informative video. It will help you understand the field, the number of people in psychology. So don't stress about the board exam, the demand of the marks. I can assure you, I've passed it. All psychologists have passed it. So you are not an exception. Even you can pass it. I'm telling you, you can pass it. It's not a difficult exam that it needs to stress you, you know. So it might not even be as difficult as the one that you've written already. So don't stress about it. You are going to pass it. So you do the internship and then you must write the board exam. And then after that, you now register as a psychologist. If you are doing clinical, you need to add a year of community service after that before you can register as a psychologist. That's just the added thing to clinical psychology. The good thing, you don't need a PhD to become a psychologist. A PhD is not a requirement for you to become a psychologist. You can do it if you want it, but it's not a requirement. So masters in terms of academic work, it's as far as it is required for you to become a psychologist. So all in all, you will have studied for about let's say about 6 to 7 years to become a psychologist. I know when I speak it like that, some people get scared. Oh, 7 years of study. Let me tell you, it doesn't feel like that when you are in it, because anyway, everybody does a degree which is 3 years. So ours is 4 years, but you can also do a degree and do the honors. By the time you get to honors level, remember, you can be working part-time, you can be, doing some form of work within the institute. Nothing prevents you from doing some form of work. So it doesn't feel like it's just, you full-time studying and doing nothing. But even if it was, medical students, they do that. 5-6 years, they're in a class studying. But the practical aspect that gets involved in the process make it feel like you are working. By the time you do internship, you are working, So don't feel like it's a very long and lonely road. It's not like that at all. I'm telling you, psychology is a course that you'll really, really enjoy. If you love it, you love working with people, you enjoy working with people, you are interested in human behavior, why people behave the way they do, you are interested in mental processes that leads to certain behavior, I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy it. Don't think about the years. What I can tell you, I've been a psychologist for many years now. You'll never regret it. You look back and thank God that you have done it, because you will enjoy your work, you will have a lot of job opportunities, you will never regret having sacrificed to become a psychologist. I'm telling you, this is something that you need to do for yourself. I've reviewed most of the courses in health professions. Imagine, medicine, they study as long as us, but I can assure you, in terms of the career opportunities that are there, we are very competitive. We also, we don't struggle in terms of job. In terms of salaries, we are also very competitive. See, there's a video I've done where I speak about a salary of a medical doctor and a salary of a psychologist. Look at them. I've done them to show you that don't ever think you are in a wrong career path. Imagine you are waking up, all you do is to speak to people and help them deal with their issues. Imagine that. Imagine that. And some of you already do that without being paid. How about now coming to a profession that help you being paid for doing what you love? Already in your community, your friends tell you, hey, if I come to you, if I've got stress, I come to you. If I need I need advice, I come to you. Already you are doing it. Nobody's paying you. Imagine if that is your career. Imagine that. So I think it's a very, very good profession. If you love it, I will say do anything in your power to get into it. Don't be discouraged by some of the challenges that exist. We know them, they exist, but every field has got its own challenges. So let them not discourage you from pursuing the career of your dream. This career, I can tell you about it, I can talk about it the whole day. I advocate for it because I know the value of it in the community, in this world. I know it's one of the best careers that we have, that previously we never had access to it. So I encourage you that if this is what you want to do, let nothing stand on your way. There is nothing as fulfilling as living a life or having a career where you are helping people and seeing people's issues being resolved on a daily basis. Thank you, colleagues. Let me end there. And I want to encourage you, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also provide comments. Share what you liked about the video. They help us in terms of making sure that this video is shared by as many people as possible. But also share the video yourself. If you know people who can benefit from this video, share it with them. Make sure that you spread the word so that people can understand the field of psychology and how it is, and also be encouraged. Those who are discouraged, let them have this video to understand the field and to be able to follow a career in psychology. Enjoy the rest of the day and continue living a fulfilling life.